I am Kareem Albritton, and I'm one of the many fabulous coaches of Prodigy All-Stars Midnight, and I am 100% that witch. My relationship with Patrick is super important because what people don't realize is that when you're talking about a cheerleading routine, a production, there's the mix, there's the choreography, there's the routine, there's the skills, and for me, it's all a big balance. And so Patrick isn't just a music producer to me, he's a part of the entire experience. He's a part of the beginning, he's a part of the end, he's a part of the win. And so when I think about my relationship with Patrick, it's everything. He is just as important as I am.
I met Kareem when he was cheering at Cheer Athletics on Wildcats. Obviously, I've produced music for that gym for quite some time. And he and I remained friends when he began coaching at Twist and Shout. A few years ago, when he was coaching Diamonds, he called me and asked me if I'd be interested in producing music for his team. Obviously, I told him I'd be honored. And so that's how the relationship, the working relationship, began.
A lot of people don't realize that Prodigy Midnight Winning World was something that it didn't just happen. It wasn't overnight. It wasn't something random. It was something that was thought about methodically. 2 years ago in 2018, I was coaching Twist and Shout Diamonds, and Prodigy Midnight was one of our biggest competitors. And for me personally, you know, becoming an adult and coming into my 30s, I knew that I wanted to make a change. I wanted to make something for myself, and I wanted to, you know, take the next step in my life and my goals, my career. And Prodigy and Renee, our owner, did that for me. So moving forward into 2019, you know, I had gotten first place at NCAA Nationals, second place at Worlds. Midnight had gotten second place at NCAA and had not had a great Worlds, but still was a phenomenal team. So going into the 2019 season, we knew that there was something that we could do together. And Renee, who's a phenomenal owner and a phenomenal boss and a phenomenal coach at which alongside it, always says, we're marrying the two. So we married our relationships. We married what I had brought me from Twist and Shout and what they had done at Prodigy, and we combined them, and that's what became Midnight 2019. And then flash forward a year later, these kids are my own. These kids are some people that I love. These kids are kids that I love. And you know, I'm standing with them on top of the globe, you know, winning Worlds. So it was exciting. It's something that I will never forget. It's something that I'll always remember.
Seeing Midnight win Worlds this past year was rewarding for me for so many different reasons, but two in particular. One, because I've been working with Prodigy for several years, and I know how close they've come without winning, and they've been right there. And also for Kareem, I know he's been very close personally with different teams, in particular Diamonds, over the years, and to see those two things come together and them win together and was just awesome. The performance they threw was incredible. They brought the house down. The energy was through the roof. The choreography, the music, all the above. It was just awesome to watch. I was glad I was there to see it.
I start thinking about ideas honestly every day. Cheerleading for me, routines, just the whole entire, just the routine, the concept is something that I think about every single day, all day. Whether I'm watching TV or I'm watching the news or I'm reading the paper, I literally am always thinking, how can I make myself a better coach, a better choreographer? This past year, actually, I was leaving the World Championships when I called Patrick to talk about this year's theme. And for me, that's important because, you know, you put a whole year of thought into one mix or one routine, but the reality is that you can't just think about it at that moment, in that spot, in that routine. You have to think about it for an entire year leading up to what could become, you know, a production, something that's just that your kids can, your parents, your kids can just believe in, can perform to. And so that's really important to me, that you can't just decide what your theme is going to be or decide what your concept's going to be.
So Kareem called me after Worlds, the first year I did Diamonds, after Worlds was over, and he said, Patrick, I'm gonna be moving. I'm moving to Houston, and I'm gonna be working with Prodigy All-Stars and coaching Midnight. This was really exciting for me because I've been working with Midnight for several years. It's a team that I love to do. I feel like feel like I've sort of helped brand them and contributed to some of their culture and some of their style. So I was really excited to have Kareem go to Houston and work with Midnight, and I was really excited to see what he would bring to their brand and to their style.
Where I get my inspiration from is just, it's so different every single year that I coach. Last year it was a big year for me because I left, the program that I had been at for years. And so coming into, the 2019 season and becoming a part of Prodigy All-Stars and coaching Midnight, I knew that I wanted it to be different. I wanted it to be a change. And so for me, this past year's theme, with Midnight being already a very talented team and already having phenomenal music, I just wanted to make a switch. And so with Midnight being, very Cinderella, very just, the clock strikes 12 and the glass slipper, I wanted it to be something that was just different.
So in the past, Midnight's theme and brand has developed into, clocks and Cinderella and taking Cinderella to the ball and all kinds of things like that. And it was basically a fairy tale. That's kind of what we envisioned for them, and we just kind of developed and expanded and took it in all different directions, over the years. Well, when Kareem contacted me and we started talking about Midnight for last year, he said, I think I want to go a different direction. They've done the Cinderella thing for so long. I think this next year we want to be witches and we want it to be darker. And so I said, all right, cool, that sounds great. So, that gave us a new direction to expand on. It gave us a new way to take the words and the lyrics and some different material to play with. And just a new concept, but it still fits and ties in with what we were already doing, just a little bit different.
Hello, my name is Josh. I go by Joosy, and I am an artist and vocalist for True Music Pro and New Level. When it comes to creating a vocal for a mix like Prodigy Midnight, there's definitely a big push for creativity. I'm looking for ideas that are new. I'm looking for ideas that are relevant. Maybe something I can pull from a past year that was creative that I can say, just slip that in. Maybe something from a popular song that has to do with the theme. When it came to specifically making this year's vocal for Prodigy Midnight, I did take a lot of inspiration from past years, trying to bring their vibe out. But what I really wanted to accomplish is like their story and where they're going. I wanted to get the rings in there, I wanted to get the witches in there, I wanted to get anything to give them life and to really convey what they do on the stage, and it's amazing.
I personally had never, won the world championships, and Midnight had not either, and I wanted to be more of a, this is the time, this is the now, it's going to happen. And so we kind of twisted what had already been the theme. And so for my motivation this year, and for my kids' motivation was like more of like anger, and this is going to happen. So we made it a little bit dark.
So one of the reasons why I love working with Kareem is because he never stops thinking about ideas for the future. Even in the middle of his current season, we're at Worlds, he's getting ready to compete for a world championship, and we're already talking about next year's theme. And so, we started talking about ideas and brainstorming, and somewhere along the line, he said, I think I want this music to go even darker. We decided to take it even darker. So I'm working on ideas, and I started developing things over the summer and the spring, and I called Kareem up and I said, all right, Kareem, how dark do you want to go? And he said, I want you to take this mix as dark as my soul.
Moving forward, we took it a step further. We even switched divisions. And so going from small co-ed to medium co-ed, small co-ed has 5 stunts, medium co-ed has 7. And so we had just talked and talked and talked, and then the whole witch thing came, and then Coven came into mind. An American Horror Story Coven, it's about becoming the Supreme. And to become the Supreme, you have to pass the test of the 7 wonders. So small co-ed 5 stunts, medium co-ed 7 stunts. And a lot of people had said, Kareem and the coaches, 5 stunts you could do it, can you do 7? And so to pass the 7 wonders was to hit the 7 stunts.
Going deeper into the lyrics, it had a lot of inspiration, like I said, from past years. I really wanted to give them the feel of like Like, we are opening up, the story is here, the stage is set, and they're ready to take over. I basically was like, grab your spell books and broomsticks, better heat my cauldron quick. Stirring it like a twister, this putrid elixir. Fetch me a dose, put it through the sifter. Put one in the cauldron, now repeat, because they did that last year. They opened up with their new theme, the witches, so they already put one in the cauldron, so now they gotta repeat. And the transformation to the Supreme Witch will soon complete, obviously.